To raise Nevada's minimum wage to $12 an hour has cleared the state assembly up in Carson City. If it passes in the state Senate and the governor signs it, minimum wage workers won't get their raise all at once. News 3's Steve Wolford is here to explain how it would work and the potential impact.
Well, thank you, Jim. If AB 456 is eventually signed into law by Governor Sisolak, Nevada's minimum wage would go from $8.25 an hour to $12 an hour in annual increments of 75 cents a year. It's hoped that that gradual raise through 2024 would minimize any adverse effects on the state's economy. Raising Nevada's minimum wage has been a flashpoint for years, even sparking the Fight for 15 protests in Las Vegas and around the U.S., with workers demanding a $15 an hour minimum wage. AB 456 would almost get there, $12 an hour. And according to Jeff Waddups, the chair of the UNLV Economics Department, won't have much of a negative impact on the state's economy.
In my view, this is going to have very little impact on the level of employment, the type of employment, or anything else.
Waddups says the cost of businesses could be absorbed in a couple of ways because it's gradual. First,
it gives firms time to figure out exactly how they're going to bring the productivity level of their current workforce up to the point where it pays to have a $10 an hour worker instead of an $8.25 an hour worker.
In other words, get more out of minimum wage employees to offset their higher pay. And second,
gradual price hikes are a lot more palatable to people than sudden large price hikes. So yeah, that's part of the rationale for having this kind of phase in.
Those gradual price hikes will be watched closely by Donald Contursi, who owns a growing foodie tour business. His overhead depends heavily on restaurant prices where he takes his clients.
If minimum wage were to increase, and that would cause maybe an increase in menu pricing, that would in turn make our overhead a little bit higher, and we'd have to pass that on to the consumer.
Another financial analyst I spoke with today said he believes that businesses will be impacted, but the multi-year phase-in makes sense and would help minimize that impact. We'll, of course, continue to follow AB 456 in Carson City and let you know if and when it reaches the governor's desk. Jim.
All right, Steve, thank you. And the time